Here's another episode of 38 Special and 2-inch versus 4-inch barrels. Today I have the Critical Defense by Hornady. This has been for a long time one of the carry ammos that I have used for a very long time. I actually did a video where I said this is the absolute best ammunition that you could use in your Snubnose Revolver. And I did that video before I tried the Buffalo Bore. And since I tested the Buffalo Bore, I've been using that. However, I would have no hesitations going right back to the Critical Defense 110 grain plus P FTX. It is a great round. So in the 2-inch barrel versus the 4-inch barrel, we're going to see what kind of velocity and accuracy we get. And as always, we're going to hit the Juggernaut box, which has 4 layers of denim, followed by 1 3/4 inches of bologna, followed by 3/8 inch particle board to simulate bone or sternum, and then 6 water jugs, which would simulate everything else past your ribs, like organs and whatnot. So let's get started with the test. All right, from about 5 yards, let's see what kind of accuracy and velocity we get with the Critical Defense Plus P out of the 4-inch barrel. $10.70, $10.75, $11.01, $11.29, and $10.50. So a little bit of variance on the velocity. It is rated at 1090 at a 4-inch barrel, so we're probably pretty close to that. Let's see how the Snubnose Revolver compares. All right, Snubnose Revolver, let's see what kind of accuracy and velocity we get. No read. 10.34. No read. No read. No read. So we're going to have to take that 1034 because I have just enough rounds to test. I have 2 rounds left, so I'm going to have to take that. For whatever reason, not wanting to read out of the Snubnose, but we're going to hit the ballistic box here and see what the difference is between the 4-inch barrel versus the 2-inch barrel. And we had a little bit more velocity with the 4-inch barrel. Will that make any difference? So let's find out. Alright, Critical Defense Plus B through 4 layers of denim, 1 3/4 inches of bologna, followed by 3/8 inch particle board and into water jugs. Let's see what we get through the 4-inch barrel. Alright, we went through the denim and we have a little hole right here in the front. Out the back, it's, let's see here. Here's out the back. Not too bad. And the particle board, there's an entrance hole in the particle board out the back. Pretty decent size exit hole out the back of the particle board. Let's see what we got in water jugs. Jug 1, pretty good damage. Not the best I've ever seen, but pretty good. And it looks like we got the bullet in jug 2, which has been pretty typical with this particular test medium for most of the ammunition that I test. I don't see the plug anywhere, but this is actually pretty good looking. Pretty good looking performance as far as expansion goes. Really good. I would say a little bit much. You got a lot of, you know, smooth lead on there, so maybe even hit with a little bit too much force for this type of design. But let's try the 2-inch barrel and see how that does. All right, let's try the Snubnose Revolver. We'll see what we get through the test medium. All right. Here's the entrance on the bologna. A lot more damage than the 4-inch barrel, to be honest. That's interesting. Particle board. Looks about the same, except this is kind of bent and cracked. Let's see what we got in water jugs. I see some fragments of jacket in the first one, but you know, a little bit less damage than the 4-inch, but not by much. And here's jug 2. We got the bullet in jug 2. And unlike the 4-inch barrel, we have a little tiny mark out the back of jug 2 and a little bit of damage on the front of jug 3. And what we have is pretty much identical performance. I'm going to have to mark these before I put them in my pocket to measure them later. So overall, the critical defense I think is a pretty good ammunition. It's been historically really consistent for me. You know, you get a little bit of variance and velocity over the different times of the year, but overall it's pretty consistent throughout the year when I chronograph it. And I've tested this ammo so many different times, and it's always performed well in my particular tests. I think this type of medium, which I think does adequately represent human anatomy to some degree, I think that's what would happen. It's a really good ammunition. It's got kind of a thin jacket on it and kind of a soft core, so it's not like the critical duty that's going to punch through things. So if there's much resistance there, it can really deform that bullet. But it went through the particle board without too much deformation and pretty good expansion. So I think it's doing really well. So I would still recommend this as a top ammunition for a carry 38 Snubnose Revolver. And there's nothing wrong with it in a heavier 4-inch revolver because the recoil is very little. So overall, you know, there's nothing wrong with this ammo. It's good ammo. You know, buy it if you can get your hands on it and you need good 38 ammo. So as always, comment, share, and like, and thanks for watching.